Ashante, welcome to our channel. Hashvini.
Shante, welcome to our channel. I hope you guys have been okay. If my voice sounds a bit different, it's because I'm currently unwell. So if I sound like a 2-year-old kid, don't mind me. So
Yeah, if
today we're
my
gonna
voice
be
sounds
doing.
different, I've been an idiotic person in the night who was singing very loudly. So I'm sorry if my voice is gone as well. It was very
So
liberating
today,
last night. I was singing so loudly, proudly, and badly, but it was so liberating. Oh my God. And I recorded myself. If no, I don't think I want to do that to you. I won't send it to you, but I recorded myself and I was laughing at my own singing ability.
today we're gonna be basically analyzing the Notebook and how the movie is actually toxic and how it I think psychologically affects your perception of uh, how a relationship goes. Although I haven't watched The Notebook, so
I haven't watched The
um
Notebook. Oh my God.
no. I find it like this. You know the way like there are a lot of Indian movies that are too good to be true, and you know it's never gonna happen, and it's just a bunch of fiction.
Most
So I
movies are,
felt like The
even the Hollywood
Notebook is
ones. Yeah.
I felt like the Notebook is something like that. It's like not realistic at all.
Hmm.
So I was like, what's the point of watching it? Because it's something like this will never happen in real life.
Yeah.
And I find it
So
too over dramatic and too much for me.
it is like
I
each
mean,
and
I
every
like
emotions,
romance.
they just they
I know it's a
portray with
very
such
sad
grandeur.
and like sappy kind of movie. I like romantic movies, but not to
This
that
was this was
extent.
a sad movie actually. A lot of people cried on it. I'm a movie crier, but I didn't cry for this one particularly. I don't know why. Like you said, something didn't sit well with me in that movie. But yeah, it's a cry fest movie, and we are going off of like the previous video, which you guys really enjoyed. We were really happy about it. So we're going off of cinema therapy and what we saw as the review as well. So I'll tell you what I felt before I saw the review. So I did think that, the love between them was so passionate and that they really clicked. But after watching, I mean, it didn't sit well with me because it was, like you said, over dramatic. But I thought that's just, how movies are. But after saw the review, I could like tell how unhealthy the relationship is because it never occurred to me while watching the movie that he's threatening her of suicide if she doesn't go out with him. I mean, that is not okay. But in the movie, it didn't register as something that's not okay. Maybe like how they said in the review, it's like they like too cute and then the scene is very pretty and they come up with all these cheesy lines along with it and then you don't notice something that's jarringly wrong with the thing. And then the
I think
violence is
mainly
what,
because you're not like looking into it so deep. It's just like a source of entertainment, just to
yeah,
like
it is. But the thing is,
make your day and
some people do really take it to their heart in the sense that it'll be like, that's the
hmm,
kind of romance I want. That's what he's trying to address by
yeah.
saying, don't pat on your relationships like that because this is toxic. And the violence, even that comes across as passion. The one where she pushes him on the car and stuff like that, that is not okay. It's actual physical violence. But yeah, the movie just pulls it off
Yeah,
as
some people
passionate.
like violence.
No, that's
They
not
they
okay.
take it as to be like there are some people like I don't know if it's this type of violence or violence like this another type that I don't know find it to be passionate, you know. It's
It's come across
very
as
I don't know
passion somehow, but it's
messed
not.
up.
It's just definitely not okay. It's not a healthy relationship. So
I think
those
some
two things
people
are the
get turned
things.
on by violence.
Oh yeah, you're talking about that. I don't know how what to comment upon it, but in a general sense, as in a
No,
relationship,
I think
this
in
kind of violence
general,
isn't
some
okay. Like
people
they just got
do
angry
get.
with each other. She wasn't okay with him wanting space and time to think about things, and she just goes around badgering him onto the car, and that is not. It's an anger outburst. And the third thing I noticed after seeing the review is it should have had trigger warnings, just like how there's trigger warnings for any suicidal stuff and things shown in the movies. They usually have a trigger warning so that people can opt out of seeing that. In this, there was no trigger warning because, like the way that other guy spoke about in the review, he had personal experiences with someone dealing with amnesia. And he was like, it's so intense and they've trivialized it in a weird way. So it really hurt him when he watched the movie. So that was a little bit insensitive of them,
I mean,
especially
I
when you
think trigger
address
warnings
some mental health
are
issue or you touch
something.
upon that in movies. You're going to have to be extremely careful about how you deal with it. But also, you need to give some trigger warnings because this guy definitely got triggered and hurt from what he said.
I mean, I when was the movie made?
Oh, it was
Like
very
in
old. It was really,
like
really old.
2005 or something?
Must be in the 90s, if I'm not wrong. Let's check.
I don't think it's in
Check real
90s.
quick.
But anyways, like trigger warnings did not happen until
Exist
like
back
quite
then.
recently.
Yeah.
Because like even if you look at like the 13 reasons why, there was no like, those trigger warning things like if you have
That was
mental
quite
health issues
recent.
or something something.
So they should have
Yeah, but
had
the first season
2004.
of 13 Reasons of Why did not have that. And after people started like committing suicide because of the show, then they like put up that like kind of disclaimer like if you have mental health problems, you shouldn't be watching this. The trigger
Yeah.
warnings are very like a recent thing. If you look
Recent.
at
Oh,
like the
yeah.
movies in the
Makes sense,
2000s,
but that is
you
still a
won't
flaw
see
in that
any such
movie.
thing.
Yeah. But I
That's
can
true.
understand his point of view. Like, if I'd gone through something where I saw somebody going through this, it's very real, very tragic and painful. And if a movie is just, it would feel to me like they're mocking it, in some way. So I can understand why he felt so. So yeah, it should have had trigger warnings, maybe, or something. How come nobody thought about it until 13 Reasons Why? Is what I don't understand. Okay.
I think it's because 13 Reasons Why is what caused people to like do things and like take their own lives because he thought like if this girl in the movie is going through her own like problems and it's serious and she took her life, then maybe I should do the same thing. I think that one was too intense to the point that people actually followed what the female lead did in the show. Whereas maybe these type of movies they weren't that intense that caused people to actually do something serious with their
No,
lives.
I think it would have been, but only thing is nobody made the rule until that point, which is weird because I think people
True.
should have made it earlier.
But at least
Um,
such movies didn't like affect people so much to the point they
I saw
started being
something in the
suicidal.
romantics, when people were looking back at the Bollywood industry and everything, the documentary. So, and I was seeing that in one particular thing, they said that back in the days, people weren't very careful when it came to filmmaking. And then one of the like lead person, who was it? I think Shahrukh or somebody, he said that in one of his movies, he romanticized self-harm. He didn't realize it then, but now looking back, he's like, that could have inspired people to like, in a romantic sense, like for my partner, I'm doing this and stuff like that. Like because he engraves his partner's name onto him or something like that. So that kind of stuff
Yeah, I watched
is
that
also
movie.
shown in
It's
movies.
like a psycho lover.
Something I haven't seen that movie, but when I saw the documentary, they were talking about it. But I could understand that it's so graphic and it shouldn't have been a part of the movie, especially when he has such a big fan base who kind of get inspired by it. If he romanticizes something like this, that is going to have an impact.
But the
So
good thing in the end is like he didn't actually get the girl. So
I
at
think it did,
least
so
like that
maybe
way
that would
people
like
think
demotivate
like,
people. Hope so.
yeah,
Hopefully, it did.
they would
So
think like, okay, he did all this, he didn't get the girl. No point in doing it myself. It's not like I'll get her. If
that's
if
true.
he got
And
the girl, then that would be like a horrible
yeah,
example.
it's like a
But
terrible
luckily
message
he
that's being
didn't.
sent out. But I'm just saying they should be more like they should have a bit more of a, I can't find the word for it. Like they should be a bit more considerate and sensitive while making movies, especially when they touch on mental health struggles, which is something, it's
True.
sad that only in the recent times people are realizing this because mental health struggles have been there for a long period of time in society, right? So Yeah, it is sad, but at least it's
Yeah.
happening. So I'm happy that people are being a bit more cautious. That's the word. People are being a bit more cautious about making movies. So these were the things. And one more thing I liked about the review is how they said James Marsden was amazing, and he was that was a healthy dynamic where I don't know, he was very calm. Like even in the movie scene, you could see that he's giving off such calm vibes even through the camera. And while she's like, I need space. I like the similar way he did, like the Ryan Gosling. Yeah, the similar way Ryan Gosling did when he said he wanted space to think and stuff like that. She reacted like a psycho. But when she said it to James Marsden, he was all calm, like literally calm. He leans back and he's like, "Okay, you can like go sort it out and everything. I'm like right here. Don't worry." And blah blah blah. So I was like, that is so nice. And that's what they pointed out as well. They were like, this is such a healthy relationship. He's like an ultimate good guy, which was nice. But I can't
I
remember
mean,
from the
when she
movie.
freaked out, I feel like sometimes those kind of scenes are the reason why guys think like girls are like, I don't know, not calm and composed. They freak out easily and they don't give you space and that kind of thing. I think it's because of like such scenes in movies that guys also think that way. Like all girls freak
It's
out in
like they
that way.
always portray, I mean, for the most part, they portray girls as being, very emotional and, they have outbursts and they exaggerate like a drama queen
Yeah.
situation. But guys do that too. But in some movies, they do show that. But yeah, it's,
In most movies, they show it's the girl that's
yeah,
overly emotional or like clingy and
stable.
all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so sad. Like,
So
why are they doing all that to
maybe
our
that's
gender?
also the reason why like guys also think that girls are like that because that's how it is in the movies.
I mean, we do say that we, rationalize things, and it's like, no, movie is just a movie. But some things it just kind of gets, like engraved onto us without us realizing it actually. So it's kind of nice that they're like actual professional therapists are reviewing such movies and putting out videos saying, this is not okay, which I think is will be a little bit eye-opening, even if we think that we're not going by what movies have influenced us to think we would have been until this point. Like I said, I thought it was passionate and I didn't realize that it was extremely toxic. So this kind of pointed that out to me, and I'm like, oh wow, Notebook is not every. If you ask most people, will like maybe people of that generation, if you ask them, they'd pick Notebook as the most romantic movie to watch. But it's like the most
Hmm.
unhealthy dynamic between them.
I mean, I've never read it, I've never watched it, but I know it's too much. So I was like, eh, I don't need another depressing story in my life. There are
Yeah.
already so many movies like that are
Well,
depressing
thing
and
is,
everything.
they're kind of ruining the movies for me. Like I liked this movie. I didn't hate it. Now this is ruined for me. And then one of my favorite movies is A Walk to Remember. If they do something to that, then I'll feel so sad because it's one of my favorite movies. I think in the next video we can do that. They quickly reviewed 10 different rom-coms and the relationships between people. So
Or
I
if
haven't
you
seen a few
guys
of those movies.
want, we can talk about like 13 Reasons Why, because I know there's a lot of things that revolved around after the first season happened. Like,
That is a very interesting subject to touch upon, but
yeah,
let's see how things go because my mind's still around, rom-coms and like dissecting it because I'm like, oh my God, bubble pop, bubble pop. So I think the one with 10 rom-coms, we would have seen a few of them because they're famous, like 500 Days of Summer, 10 Things I Hate About You.
nope,
No?
that is
Okay, so
500
some things
Days
like
now.
that. There are some. Hannah of Summer is really nice. I think he pointed it out as one of the healthier relationships. It's actually a very nice movie. So you can try it out if you sometimes want to see
10
like a
Things I
feel
Hate
good
About
movie.
You. I was very confused with
Yeah.
that movie. I was like, this is just
If
weird.
you watch it when you were a kid.
Yeah, I think I was like starting my teen years. I was just like watching it for the purpose of entertainment, but I didn't really like go in depth and try to understand the movie.
Yeah.
Because how can you hate someone so much and then you end up liking them?
Oh yeah, that is real. I mean, it truly doesn't happen in real life. If you hate someone, you hate someone.
I mean, there are
Hatred
a lot of
doesn't
shows
change
that
into
starts
love.
with like hatred that turns into love.
In real life, I don't think hatred turns into love because when you hate somebody, and then yeah,
Hmm,
you can't go back to liking them
true.
after you've accumulated hatred over a period of time, and then it's can't just suddenly turn into love. So that thing about 10 things I hate about you is kind of weird. But I don't
Okay,
know.
so
I
just my
guess it is
last
something that makes
question.
sense in the movie. It wasn't so hateable to me. So I'm curious to see what they debunk about the relationships in it because that's gonna pop a lot of bubbles for me because that's also a nice. So
Okay,
before
so
we
my
have it,
question before we end the video is like, and now that you went through like the in-depth analysis of the notebook from a therapist's point of view, how toxic would you rate the movie, the notebook? Like, how toxic would you find it?
how toxic would I define him? I mean, it depends on one's perspective, but I think
I
the
mean, in your
relationship was
opinion.
only there was only sexual attraction between the two of them. There was emotionally they were just completely mismatched, and it was like
So,
chaos. So I think out of
so
10, I
like
would
out
give
of
it like
the,
a 6. Nobody ended up
okay,
abusing another person for like a sustained period of time, something. They did show physical violence, but then it wasn't like consistent or something. So I'm not able to bring myself to give it a 10, but it's 6 on 10.
okay. I mean, based on like the little bit I saw from the analysis and the scenes, it's like this typical type of romantic movies which you think are like, oh, so sweet. I wish this was me and all of that. But in actual sense, it's very like draining and everything. And I find the guy a bit like a sweet talker. You know, those type of guys that know how to manipulate you into saying yes. Yeah, like I find the Ryan Gosling's role like that. So I would say like since I haven't watched the whole movie and I didn't like go through the whole analysis, maybe a 4 just for the small bit I saw. It's already a 4. So I think if I watch the whole movie, probably like a 6 or higher. Now that I'll be watching the whole movie, keeping the fact like keeping in mind that it's not like an actual good relationship that's being shown and it's actually very like draining and toxic.
Mm.
If I
Maybe
didn't
I
think of
should
it
watch it
like
again too, so that I can be like, oh my God, how did I miss this? How did I miss that? It's bad. It's gonna be a
maybe if
different
I watched
experience
the
to watch it again.
movie like I think if I watched the movie before this whole like in-depth analysis of the psychological side, I think I would still just get bored and I would find it like overrated because nothing
Yeah,
like
it's a
that
bit
actually
over
happens
dramatic
in
for
real life.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Okay.
me being the type of person that would just be like, let me watch something else like Guardians of the Galaxy instead. Because it's fun, you know, it's not real, so you don't have any expectations of something like that happening in real life to you.
I like fantasy genres as well. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good move. That would be better than watching this movie and finding it over dramatic and boring. But yeah.
true.
So that brings us to the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed
Yes.
it. We will do more of such content for you guys because it looks like you guys really liked it.
And
So
if you
let us
want
know
us to like analyze a TV show or a movie, you can like let us know in the
in the
description,
comments below.
in the
You
comment
can,
section below. Yeah.
and you could leave us some likes on the video so that we know that you guys liked it. And yeah,
Yeah.
see you in the next video. You guys take care.
And
Bye.
subscribe to our YouTube channel. Bye.
Yes, please. Bye.